like that. All right, so again, we're not going to use any props today. I've just got my mat. You can see that I've got my blue foam block. So I just always keep it next to me in case I need to have a little bit of support underneath knees or lower back or head. So if you need something, have it on hand. And we are going to start in a seated position today on our mats. So just come onto the floor and you're just going to sit with your feet quite wide apart because I don't want you to get any kind of pinching into the hip joint here. So take your feet wide apart, knees bent, and then just lay one hand and elbow, put your other hand and elbow on top. So you've created a shelf for your forehead, and then just lean forward, let your head rest onto your hands, and get yourself as comfortable as possible in this starting position right here. Make any adjustments that you need. And then allow your eyes to close if they're not closed already. And start to bring your awareness to the back of your body. And just feeling that easy movement of your ribs as you breathe. Notice how there's almost a little bit of separation, a little bit of space that you create between each vertebra with your inhale and your exhale. And it's this movement of the spine as we breathe that actually nourishes our central nervous system. It allows all that cerebrospinal fluid to move up and down along our spine, and it provides nourishment for all the discs that sit between our vertebrae as well. And then take a moment to visualize your internal organs that are in your rib cage. So specifically your lungs on the right, your lungs on the left, and your heart that is nestled in the middle. And just allow yourself to soften and release a little bit more here. And then I want you to bring your awareness down to your lower back for a moment. Just notice how it feels. And there is an action when we breathe where the diaphragm flattens down and then pulls up again underneath our rib cage. And the diaphragm has a connection all the way down to the lumbar spine. So as you breathe, you might start to notice that there is a softening or a release into the lower back in this position. And then staying here for just a few more moments. Remind yourself of your intention, your dedication that we set on Monday for the series. And maybe it's the same intention or dedication. Maybe it is shifting or evolving slightly. Just connect into it. Breathe it in. And then slowly blink your eyes open. Unravel your spine so you can start sitting up nice and tall. You're going to keep your legs wide apart. Hook your hands around the front of your knees. Pull yourself upright so you find some height through your spine. And on your breath, curl your tail under. Roll back as far as you can. Maybe you can straighten your elbows here. Take a little breath. And then exhale, come all the way up and lift up nice and straight. And again, use your exhale, draw your tail under, and it's a feeling of flattening your belly away from your thighs. And again, Curl forward and lift up tall. 2 more. So just a very gentle way to start mobilizing the spine. Maybe getting a little bit of a stretch around the shoulder blades, around the upper back. One more time, we're going to curl back, and I want you to stay here. Hold on with your right hand. Bring your left hand forward. Open your left hand out to the side and follow with your eye line. And then exhale to bring that hand all the way back in. Hold on with the left hand. Right hand opens to the side. Breathe in. Exhale, come back to the center, narrow the waist. Left arm, breathing in. So we're getting just a soft rotation of the spine, waking up abs, waking up obliques. Last one, right arm opens out to the side. And back to the center, stay here. Slide your hands down the side of your legs as you come all the way back and release. Now keep your feet wide apart as you walk your feet a little bit closer towards you, but they're still at the edges of your mat. Pelvic curl. Breathing out as you tilt your pelvis, rolling up into your bridge position. Hold it here. Open the front of the hip and engage the gluteals. Relax your neck. And then articulate down through the spine. So you almost get a little bit of a stretch around the kidneys and release. And we're going to do one more time. Tilt pelvis, roll up, hold it here for a moment. See if you can hover your arms just off the ground. Find balance. Your hands come up to the sky. Stay here. And roll your spine down. Feel the imprint to the lower back. Release your pelvis. Turn your palms to face each other. We scissor the arms. One arm back, one arm forward. Warm up the shoulder girdle. Remember to get that gliding action of your scapula on the back of your ribs. Last 2, nice and easy. Last one, bring both hands up, interlace fingers, placing hands underneath your head for support. Elbows are floating. Nod your chin. Exhale, slide your ribs forward as you come into a chest lift. And then releasing back. So remember, there's no pulling on your head or neck. Use your abdominals. Your upper abs have to work here. And release. Let's just take 2 more. Exhale. And release. We're taking one more time. Exhale. And releasing all the way down. Release your hands, reaching your arms out to the side with your palms facing up. Roll both your knees to the left. Turn your head and look to the right. Feel that little rotation coming up all the way from the lumbar spine. Roll your legs through the center, over towards the right. Getting the rotation the other way. Come back to the center. Let's do one more time each way. And again, just noticing, is there a difference between the 2 sides of your body? Maybe in the lower back, maybe in the bum cheeks, maybe even down the front of the thigh, the quadriceps. Come back to the center. Hold. Slide your hands down next to your body. And I just want you to go toes a little closer, heels a little closer. You're now in parallel hip distance apart. Take a breath, pelvic curl. Tilting pelvis up, Rolling up into your bridge position. So notice now that there's a little bit of an increased stretch here. There's more work here. And roll down through your spine and release. And it's purely because we've brought the legs a little closer. One more time. Tilt pelvis. Rolling up. Make sure you're keeping that posterior tuck as much as you can. Hover your arms, find balance. Bring both hands up. Stay here and roll down through your spine. Feel the imprint into the lower back and release. Turn the palms of your hands to face each other and we draw tiny little circles. Just getting a very soft movement into the shoulder, which is a ball and socket joints. Keep your head relaxed. And then change direction, circle the other way. Small arm circles. So it just almost feels like you're oiling, lubricating the joint. Come back to the center, interlace hands. Hands go underneath your head. Elbows floating, ready to chest lift. Nod your chin. Exhale, slide your ribs through. Inhale, release back. And again, get that flattening sensation of the abdominals. And release. 2 more. One more time. Release back. Hold it here. Slide your hands out. Palms up. Open to the side. Roll both your knees over to the left. Turn your head and look the other way. Notice how the rotation is a little tighter. Bring yourself back to the center using obliques. Roll your knees to the right, look to the left. And exhale. 2 more. So because we've moved the feet a little closer together, you might notice that the rotation travels up your spine a little higher than it did the first time. Look to the left. Exhale, come back to the center. Hold it here. Bring your hands beside your pelvis. Now pivot your heels to touch and keep the toes out. So you've made a V position with the feet. And if you look at your legs, they're in a diamond shape. We repeat. Tilt your pelvis and roll up into a pelvic curl. Make sure that you've got all 10 toes on the floor, by the way. You're not rolling to the sides of your feet. Hold it here. Feel the external rotation like a ballerina. And then ripple down through your spine. Imprint and release. One more time. Tilt your pelvis. Rolling up into your bridge. Get that lovely squeeze with your bum. Hover your arms. Bring your hands up towards the sky. Stay there. Roll down through your spine. Take your time. Work through the lower back and release. Turn the palms of your hands to face each other. We inhale to open wide. Hover. Exhale, bring your hands up and connect each fingertip to its partner. Breathing in, expand. Breathing out. 2 more. Be aware of the back of your ribs on the floor as you move. Notice if there's any rolling, shifting, tightening. And we hold. Interlock fingers, hands behind your head, and you know that we're going into chest lift now, right? Elbows are hovering. Nod your chin. Exhale. Slide forward. Inhale and release. And again, exhale. And release. We're going to do 2 more. Now, something you may or may not be aware of as you move is that with the legs in this position, it naturally engages the back pelvic floor. One more time. Exhale. And release, hold. Slide your hands out, taking them into an open position with your palms facing up. Let your left knee open to the side and then roll your right leg on top of it. Turn your head and look the other way. Bring your right leg up. Start opening your right leg as wide as you can, and as your right leg opens, you bring your left leg over on top and look the other way. So this is coming into a very deep rotation now. Feel it out on your own body. Make any adjustments that you need. Bring your legs back to the center in a V position. Hands in beside you. And now bring the knees together, bring your big toes together, and your legs are squeezed tight. Pelvic curl. Tilt your pelvis and roll up. Notice that you probably won't be able to go up as high this time because your legs are adducted. And then roll down through the spine, and you may very well feel like your hamstrings want to cramp or grip a little bit, so don't go up as high. And if your knees don't like this, separate your legs a little bit. So that's for people that have a really tight iliotibial band. Now hold it here. Hover your arms. Bring both hands straight up. Find balance. Roll down through your spine. Take your time. Imprint and release. Turn your palms to face each other. Now take the right arm overhead as the left arm comes forward. So that's one scissor. Scissor again the other way. So your left arm comes back. Hold it. Draw windmill arms around yourself. So now the right arm is overhead. And we scissor for 2. Scissor for 1. And now draw windmill arms all the way around so you switch sides. And we scissor. Scissor. Draw windmill arms all the way around. Last one. Scissor. Scissor. Draw windmill arms all the way around. Both hands come up. Interlace. Hands under your head. Elbows floating, ready for a chest lift. Nod your chin and breathe out. Squeeze your knees together and release. 3 more. Now your inner thigh connection is going to start to lift up through the front pelvic floor. So you might notice a slightly different connection from before. And release. One more time. And release and hold. Slide your hands out. Taking your hands wide, pick up your right leg and cross it over the left leg. Rolling your knees to the left, you look to the right. Exhale, come back to the center. Roll your knees to the right, look to the left. So the weight of your leg is going to feel a bit heavier here. One more time each way. Keep your chest open, collarbones wide. Keep that movement around your head and neck as free as possible. Last one. Exhale, draw back to the center, use obliques and pause. This time, bring both knees up into your chest, Hands come onto your knees. You can stay here, or you can slide your hands down towards the ankles and bring yourself into that deep gluteal stretch. Pausing just for a moment. Feeling that lovely deep stretch. And then release, hug both knees in. Place your right foot down, left thigh over, arms out to the side. Roll your legs to the right first as you look to the left. Figure out how far you can go. And exhale, obliques connecting. Roll legs to the left, look the other way. And exhale. Last two. Such a beautiful rotation of the spine without forcing. Just getting all those connections with your breathing. Come back to the center, hold it. Bring both knees in towards your chest and body. Hands on your knees first, and then you can move your hands down lower if it allows it on that left bum cheek. Just breathe into it for a few moments. And then on your next breath, uncross. Hug both knees in towards you and holding it here. Slip your hands behind your thighs, flex your ankles, and on your breath, extend your legs as straight as you can manage, and then bend your knees to release. So now when you extend your legs, you want to keep your sacrum and pelvis down, and you want to try and get your ankles above your pelvis and release. So if you are straightening your legs and your legs are moving away like this, then rather keep the knees bent and bring them up higher. And bend. Let's do one more time. And release. Relax your ankles, tuck your chin, and on your breath, come up into a chest lift and you hold it here. Start to do a little bit of a kick with your legs, using your feet to create that momentum so you can roll gently on your spine. There shouldn't be any jarring and you shouldn't feel like you're hitting your neck or head. Let's do one more to come up and just see if you can balance. See if you can balance here just for a moment and then releasing your feet all the way down. Good. So move back just a little bit on your mat. I want you to stretch your legs out nice and straight and take them to the width of your mat right here. Sitting up nice and tall. Put your hands on top of your knees with your elbows straight. Pull your toes up towards the sky. Imagine like you have a wall behind your back that's propping you up. On your breath, let yourself peel forward away from the wall. So your hands are going to slide down towards your ankles. And if you can, you wrap your hands around your ankles if you get that far. Don't force it. Take a little breath in, and then simply unravel and roll yourself all the way back up. And again, nod your chin. So it again is that articulation of the spine. Stay here for a moment. Take a breath. And then exhale, rolling all the way back up. Sitting up nice and tall. We're adding on. Roll forward. Neck, upper back, lower back. And now hold on to your ankles or your shins wherever you are. Start to lift your eye line to the front edge of your mat and drop your shoulders away from your ears. Start to lift your chest up a little bit, and if you need to slide your hands back, you slide your hands back and then hold on. Your heart is lifted. Start to reach your tailbone a little bit behind you. So if you can imagine a straight line from your tailbone to the crown of your head and you're leaning forward, then release, round over so you get a little bit of a stretch into those back muscles. Unravel, roll back up into a sitting position and lifting tall. And again, nod your chin, peeling forward through your spine, and we hold it here. Lift your eye line, shoulders down, lift your heart, lengthen your tailbone away, abs are connected in the front as well, and then round over, roll back up, and sit up nice and tall. Let's do one more time. Nod your chin. So this is our spine stretch forward. Roll through. Lift eye line, drop shoulders, lift heart, reach tail. Take a breath in. And then exhale, release. Come all the way back up. Sitting up nice and straight. And relax. I want you to bring your feet right next to each other so your legs are together. Pick up your right foot and cross it over. Make sure that your foot is flat. Right hand props you up behind you. Reach up through that left hand. Grow a little taller. And then start a gentle twisting towards the right so you can hook your elbow. And then looking over your right shoulder. So remember, guys, you don't force this. We're going to inhale to expand from the inside out. And our exhale gives us the possibility of deepening into that spiral. No forcing. It's an inhale to find height. And it's an exhale to deepen that spiral. One more time. Notice where it's registering on your physical body today. And exhale. Come all the way back to the center. Bring your hands around. So you're going to place both hands on the floor on the left side. And just do a gentle rocking action. So it's just a little bit of a counter twist here. And then come back to the center. Help yourself as you bend the left leg under and you come into a seated position. Now listen, if your knees and hips don't like this, sit like this. It's a much more open position. And then place your hands on your right knee and rest your forehead down. If you're flexible enough to go into the full seated twist, just make sure that you've got both your bum cheeks down. You can use any props that you need. And we're just resting here for about 30 seconds. Finding that softness and release into that hip. And for some people, this is super duper easy. For other people, it's a little bit tight. So just give yourself permission to be wherever you are. Taking one more breath in and out. And then lifting yourself up. Place your left hand onto the floor, hold onto that right leg and help yourself as you just swing that right leg to the back. So you're sitting in a mermaid position. I just happen to be facing sideways today. And then we come into that seaweed movement from side to side. So finding that opening now along the side of your body. So this is the first sort of lateral movement that we've done in class today. And I want you to place your left hand to the floor, do one more stretch over, and then do a little bit of a twist and spiral. So now you're going to put both your hands sort of on the left side of your body. I'm going to turn so you guys can see a little bit more clearly what I'm doing here. Start arching your spine so you lift your eye line, lift your chest, and then you're going to round your spine, and I use my hands to help me here, curl back. And again, a little bit of extension, and then flexion. Start small, and then explore your range. And I get quite a bit of movement through my hips and pelvis here because my hips are tight. And let's just do one more. Come back to the center and pause. Bring your left hand in, right arm comes up, and then you bring yourself all the way upright. Now hold on to that right leg again, and you're going to stretch it all the way out. So your right leg is out to the side, your left leg is tucked in nice and tight. All we're going to do is place hands behind our backs. Again, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. And you're sitting up nice and tall. Close your eyes. You can bend your elbows if you need to. This is called the half dragonfly. So full dragonfly is when both legs are out to the side. So half dragonfly, and it seems like such a simple position to hold, but a lot of the time our lower spine and pelvis might be misaligned, and you won't be sitting evenly on your bum bones. So notice the weight on your bum cheeks, notice the weight on your sit bones, and just allow yourself to adjust, settle, realign. Very, very gentle way to come back into alignment here. Take one more breath in, and then open your eyes. Slowly extend both legs all the way out in front of you and give your legs a little bit of a shake. So now we're going to repeat that sequence on the other side. So pick up your left foot, cross it over, stand on it. Left hand supports you, right hand reaches, coming into your little twist and spiral. Hook your elbow and then create some space. No forcing. You're going to inhale to find height, internal release, and it's an exhale for the possibility of deepening the spiral. Soften into the neck and shoulders. And on your next breath, slowly release. Bring both hands over to the right side and just let yourself rock a little bit. Find that counter twist. And then bring yourself back to the center. Help yourself again as you bend the right leg underneath you. Guys, now remember, if your hips don't like it or if your knees don't like it, you just open it up, all right? Hand onto your left knee as you let your body drape forward. And just allow yourself to get even pressure on those sit bones. Notice if one side is maybe tighter than the other. And on your next breath, Slowly unravel, put your right hand to the floor, hold on with your left hand, and just take that leg open and out to the side. So you're coming into your mermaid seat. A little bit of side to side. And again, I'm just going to move to face you so you can see what I'm doing. And this time you're going to place your right hand to the floor, long stretch over, and now do a little bit of a twist, placing both hands down, and then square your shoulders for a moment, settle, lift eye line, lift chest, and then round your spine and curl back. And again, we breathe in. And we breathe out. Just let your head and your lower body respond to the movement of your spine. There's no forcing at any time. Last one. Come back to the center, hold, move your right hand a little forward, pick up your left arm, and then come all the way up. Hold on to your left leg, bring that leg out, bring yourself into half dragonfly, hands behind your back for support, lifting up nice and tall, close your eyes, and once again, just find alignment. Let yourself settle. Lumbar spine, sacroiliac joint, tailbone, sit bones. And on your next breath, allowing your eyes to open, blink gently. From here, make your way onto all fours. So coming onto hands and knees, if you need any kind of padding underneath your knees, then feel free. Spread your fingers out nice and wide, and you're going to start wagging your tail from side to side. So not too frantically, so it's not like a crazy puppy movement, but just a gentle movement through the lumbar spine. And what you will probably feel is a connection into the obliques muscles. And now, if this is feeling good for you, why don't you look over your shoulder and see if you can find your tail as you wag. So now we're doing full lateral flexion of the spine. And again, we do a lot of lateral flexion, but we do it in different positions. So this position right here, with gravity acting, is going to force us to work the abdominals as opposed to just stretch them. Last one. Come back to the center and pause. Round your spine like a cat, and I want you to stay here just for a moment. Move your hips just halfway back. Find a little bit of a stretch into the lower back, along the lats. Then come forward again onto all fours. Lengthen your spine, and this time move towards a little bit of extension. We haven't done a lot of extension today, so we're just introducing it now. Round your spine, belly button lifted. Sit back halfway. Come forward, shoulders above wrists. Lengthen your spine, lift tail, lift chest, lift gaze. Last two, tuck. Sit back. Come forward. Lengthen, extend. Last time, rounding your spine. Sit back. Come forward. And this time, just return to a neutral position. Tuck your toes under. We're going to go into a little bit of weight bearing here. So pressing into hands, pressing into feet. See if you can lift your knees just part way up. Holding it here. Finding stability through all the major joints of your body. Take a little breath. And then releasing all the way down. Relax your feet out. Take a moment to open your knees. Sit back, taking the pressure off your wrists by bringing the hands together. And then bending your elbows and placing your hands behind your neck, behind your head. And getting a little bit of a stretch into the triceps as well. So taking a few moments to integrate all the movements and the breathing. Feel the transition, the shift that's taking place. And on your next breath, bring your hands forward, bring yourself up again onto all fours, and we're going to be adding on to that series that we just did right now. Stretch one leg back, toes under. Stretch the other leg back, toes under, and pause. Let your knees come to the ground. Release your feet back. Round your spine. So we're doing the same cat stretch that we did a second ago, but it's a little bit of a deeper stretch because we've got a longer base. Now come forward, and we're not going to just extend the spine. We're going to shift forward. So you've got to squeeze your bum, then lift your chest, lift your gaze, and there's your extension right here. Tuck your tail under again, round back, tuck your toes, and then lift your hips up so you come just into a gentle downward facing dog. Stay here for a moment, take a breath in, and then exhale, come forward. We're back into a plank position. Bring one knee in, bring the other knee in, and we hold. Is everyone okay? We're going to add on here. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees just up. Move your right hand under your nose. Pivot your feet, your knees, your pelvis, and if you can, you balance on your right hand and come into a side plank. You've got your knees bent there. Look down, pivot yourself all the way back, separate your hands, lower your knees, take a moment to relax your feet back. We're going to do the other side now. Tuck your toes under. Hover your knees. Bring your left hand under your nose, pivot ankles, knees, hips, and if you're able, balance on your left hand. Reach that right hand up. Look down. Pivot yourself back to the center. Separate your hands, lower your knees, release your feet, sit back into your resting position. Bring the palms of your hands together to touch. And bend your elbows all the way back. So just taking the pressure off your wrists. Staying for just a few more moments. Stretch your hands forward. Bring yourself up onto all fours, and we are repeating the series one more time. Stretching one leg back, tuck toes. Stretching the other leg back, tuck toes. Holding your plank. Lower your knees. Release your feet. Round your spine. There's your cat stretch. Stay for a moment. Come forward with a rounded spine. Press your hips through. Lift your chest, lift your gaze. There is your extension. extension of your spine. Tuck your chin, roll back, tuck your toes under, lift your hips all the way up so you come once again into your downward facing dog. And now come forward into your plank and hold. Move your right hand under your nose. Pivot your feet, your knees, your hips. If it's available to you, lift up the right hand. Oh, I'm so impressed, guys. Look down. Pivot to face the front. Stay here. Lower your knees. Release your feet. Round your spine. Move back. So this is a little bit of a reprieve for the wrist, right? Enjoy it. Come forward. Press your pelvis through. Lifting into a little bit of extension of the spine. Tuck your chin, roll back, use your abs. Tuck your toes, lift up. There's your downward facing dog. Come forward into a plank position, pause. Moving your left hand underneath. You can put your knees on the floor if you need, by the way. Pivot, feet, knees, pelvis, and we balance. There's your side plank. Look down. Come all the way forward. Lower one knee. Bring the other knee. Sit back and let's go into a resting position. Oh my goodness. Well done, guys. This is a very well-earned resting position. Give those wrists a little bit of a shake. Make sure that you can breathe. Staying for just a few more moments. And on your next breath, just walk your hands towards your knees so that you can roll upright. Move your hips over to your left side so your feet are towards the right. Holding onto your ankle. Let's just do one long side stretch. Come all the way back. Swing your feet around. Ankles to the left. Hold on. Right arm, long side stretch. And we come all the way back to the center. Bring your feet back to the front. Come forward to the front edge of your mat with your knees bent. Arms extended. Take a breath. Exhale, curl your tail all the way under. Can you lie all the way onto your back? Draw a big circle with your arms. Lift your head. And can you roll all the way up? If you need to grab onto your legs, then give yourself assistance. If you need something under your back, then you can put a little prop there as well. Exhale, draw your tail under. Sweep your arms back. Lift your head. And we exhale. And sit up nice and tall. So, you can keep doing that. Otherwise, we're going to do a little bit of a challenge here. Take a breath. Exhale, curl back. So it's the same as we did a second ago, rolling down. Reach your arms over. Circle. Now this time when you come up, can you pick up your right knee and hold it in the air? Place that foot down. Roll back. Draw your tail under. Circle your arms around. This time as you come up, strong breath out. Can you pick up the left knee? So you're really having to work the hip flexors and sit up tall. So you're making like a V position here. Take a breath. Place your foot down. Take an inhale. Exhale. Draw your tail under. Circle around. Keep both your feet down. Come all the way up. And lift up tall. Stay here. Bring one knee to tabletop. Balance. Bring the other leg up to join. Squeeze your legs together. Now you can stay here and balance. This is enough work. If you would like to try one, where we roll back and roll up. Woo! Well done. Nice, Fina. Lifting tall and placing your feet all the way down. Walk your feet nice and wide. Put your hands behind you as if you're sitting on the beach, and then just do a little bit of a rocking action from side to side. So you're releasing around the hips, the quadriceps, and then bring your legs back to center, sitting up nice and tall. Overlap hands, elbows, rest your head all the way down. And just as we started, you settle back into an easy position. Make any adjustments that you need. Make sure that your head and neck feel completely supported. And just allow yourself to settle here, connecting into your breath. Noticing how your physical body is feeling. Notice the movement of your ribs, the space along your spine. Visualize your internal organs. Take a moment to notice your energy. And then maybe notice the connection between your physical body and your energy. Are they synchronized? Are they harmonized? Bring your awareness back to your intention, your dedication. And just for a few moments, as you sit here and breathe, allow everything to integrate. And on your next breath, blinking your eyes open. Take your time as you unravel your spine, lifting up nice and tall. Bringing your hands just down beside you with the palms facing upwards. Inhale as you reach all the way up, lifting that air around you. Exhale, clear a little bit of space for yourself. And relax. Nicely done, everyone. I was very, very impressed with your